What is up, everybody? I'm NoLuxGiven, and happy Gwensday. Today we are going to take a look at a bonus Gwensday video on the previous patch. I wanted to showcase this video and today's Gwensday, even though it is on the previous patch, and I would play things obviously a lot differently had I been playing this game on the current patch. I still wanted to showcase it because I thought it was an interesting game. At the beginning of this game, so sometimes when I load up Gwen, I'll load up my YouTube channel and see which characters have I played, have I made a dedicated Gwensday video about. And I was really surprised to see that I hadn't made a Gwensday video yet on Sleeping Princess, because it's a pretty good knighthood target and I just hadn't made a video on it previously. So that's what we're going to take a look at in this one. And I think it is a pretty vanilla hero to knighthood, but I still wanted to go over it because it's quite strong. And I wanted to make sure that I was doing the service of at least like recommending and saying, hey, if you have the opportunity to knighthood a Sleeping Princess on 3.0, you can go for it. It's pretty strong, and basically just the strength of picking up an early upgraded awakened princess, a 1616 character on 3.0, gives you the flexibility then to take the game wherever you need to take it. So sometimes that is going to be playing like Hatball or something like that. It's just what I'm getting at. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted. Still a little bit sick, obviously. It's going to give you the flexibility to play whatever comp and greed for whatever comp you think is currently the best right now. That's the point that I'm getting to. And I think just grabbing all of these additional stats here so early in the game can do a lot for you. Basically whatever the best comp currently is. And right now and on the previous patch, it's probably this Slay comp, picking up the Horn of Olympus and Evil Eye and doing some crazy stuff with that. So like I said, this is a video on the previous patch. We're going to see the old knighthood spell. That's kind of a tell. This is an awkward treasure selection because we get offered a secret stash and there's no way that we are losing a combat anytime soon, so don't really need that. Polywoggle's kind of fine here. I'll also use this forbidden fruit to tick down on Cindy, and then I'll roll twice and wind up picking up a Lonely Prince to end the turn off. I can sell off this golden chicken and grab that. I guess there's no reason to do it right this second. So next turn, I'll just pick up the Lonely Prince and do some other stuff with it. And because of that, I'm realizing that with this Turkish Delight next turn, excuse me, sorry. With picking up the Turkish Delight next turn, we can slay with the Polywoggle next turn and grab a tier 5 character, because we will be level 4 next turn. So no point in playing the Polywoggle right now, but we will play it in the future depending on what we grab here. Rune Stones is fine, though I think that this is a Dragon's Nest play. We also have a lot of stuff for Book of Heroes, and maybe we could have gone into the good build. The thing is, after thinking about it for a little bit, I'm realizing that now we're level 4, we can just pick up Dragon's Nest, find Feasting Dragons. That would be extremely powerful. And once we're going to go the Dragon's route, a Bounty board is also obviously extremely good. So I'll roll. I don't wind up finding any dragons right here, but that is what I want to spend all of my cash on. And then hopefully maybe we could slay with Polywoggle and do some fun stuff with that. But I think that this is a really strong start. I haven't really felt in danger at all this game, while also being able to roll and pick up some treasures and things. And we've got some synergistic treasures here, but we'll be able to pop off shortly if we're able to pick up some more. Polywoggle not going to be able to slay, so that is a little bit unfortunate. But as you can see, we actually do get a loss here, just barely a loss. I was going to say the Sleeping Princess doing some work, but wasn't actually able to get it done, so a little bit awkward there. But now we'll pick up a Feasting Dragon. That's got the +5/+5 from the Dragon's Nest, and I won't find any other dragons, but we get to find a whole bunch of tier 5 characters right here, and then I just go all in on the Feasting Dragon by picking up a Baba Yaga this turn, and I thought this was a decent amount of fun here. I have to decide if I want to play the Pollywoggle or the Stag, and ultimately I'm going to decide to just play the Pollywoggle. I think it's pretty unlikely to slay, but you never know. It always could, and that could be pretty sweet for us as well, but mostly just going off the Feasting Dragon. We basically have an upgraded Feasting Dragon now, and then we also have these rotten apple trees, and we've got these dwarves. And I don't even know which one of those I'm going to go for, but I'm going to pick those up in some capacity, I think. And we get to deny this Zippy the Zombie their extra XP, and also grab some prized pig gold. So all of that is looking really nice for us. And then, yeah, probably going to cut down on this Pollywoggle at this point, and then move into some of this other stuff. So I really do like River Wish Mermaid, picking that up alongside potential lightning dragons in the future. That'll be nice. And then, yeah, gonna wind up going into this. And I moved the River Wish Mermaid earlier on because we have the bounty board, and so getting some early slays is actually pretty useful. And then I'm even going to move the Sleeping Princess one earlier just because it's slightly more likely to slay than the Angry. Feels weird to have an Angry in slot 4, though I think this maximizes our gold generation, and so this is going to give us the best stats for the board. Currently everything in the shop has +2/+2 from Feasting Dragon, and hopefully we can keep slaying and doing some nice little work with that. We get a pair of slays with Feasting Dragon, and then a pair of slays with both the Tweedledee and the Tweedledum, and an additional slay with the Awakened Princess. So really good stuff. We take a ton of damage this turn, but we've got 7 extra gold. So that's really cool, and that will give us the means to roll down and try to find some sweet stuff on this turn. Kind of turboed past level 4, so our ability to find the Horn of Olympus, remember this is the old patch, might be a little bit hindered in this one, but we can still potentially find the Evil Eye, and it just kind of depends whatever we roll into. I like a lot of stuff in this shop, by the way, but I definitely want to pick up a bunch more Feasting Dragons, and from there I lock on to this XP spell as well, because I would like to excuse me, I would like to yeah, grab some XP. Sorry. Yeah, brain doesn't fully work when you're a little bit sick, but we're still doing it. We're doing okay. First Feasting Dragon, not gonna slay. A little bit unfortunate, but the second one, double supported by the Baba Yagas, does get to slay, and then Tweedle and Sleeping also get to slay, so still 6 bonus gold this turn. Not too bad. I'll pick up the Baba Yaga, and Evil Eye is quite an easy pickup from there. I'll flip my Feasting Dragons, and then I'm actually just going to end the Angry, grab some additional health, rather than do that to the Baby Root, because at this point I'm pretty firmly in a slay comp, and I know I'm not going to be using the Angry at this point. So I'd really like to find Horn. And one thing that I will say that this game does illustrate is that it's going to be a lot easier to find Horn now on the current patch, because there's so many tier 4 treasures. It's just so hard to churn through all of them, and that is ultimately going to be just a lot easier on this one. So that is one thing that I am kind of excited to play around with. We're going to be looking at that a little bit in today's video, the other video that I posted today, as well as tomorrow's video, focusing on those treasures and how to find them. And I think we'll have the stats here to battle through a pair of Juliets. Yes, we will. Our backline supports are pretty big, thanks to those Feasting Dragons, and now we are on 6.0 with 7 bonus gold again, and now we get to immediately activate a Lancelot. So that's really good. And then we'll also pick up a Hercules. So doing pretty strong stuff. I could even see taking that Nutcracker here just because it would potentially give us a tier 4 treasure, which could be the Horn of Olympus, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I was just checking to see if Lancelot could get activated with the Ride the Valkyrie. Not going to quite be enough to get there, so just going to lock onto this Feasting Dragon triple, and then we'll be able to grab the treasure from Lancelot this turn. We'll be able to grab the tier 4 treasure from Feasting Dragon, and we're hunting. We're on the hunt for that Horn of Olympus. But like I said, on the newest patch, it's going to be a lot easier to find that horn now that that is a tier 5 treasure and not a tier 4 treasure. So that's kind of fun. And games like this will have a slightly different direction to them, where you're just trying to pick up 9 sea terrors in the end game rather than trying to triple up a bunch of 4s, try to find Sky Castle, then lightning dragons and other things. Their tier 5 treasure, no interest in any of those, but our tier 4 treasure, Sky Castle, like I said, the idea here is that maybe now we could... Yeah, that's an awkward hit. Maybe now we could find more River Wish mermaids and activate that, but I'm also not going to turn down an Empress P. That one's pretty sweet, and I'll even throw a Queen's Blessing on it, so that way we can potentially slay with that this turn. But then I'll wind up picking up a River Wish mermaid. I'll throw that in here. I'd love to find another River Wish mermaid. We do. Does that give us the horn? Not quite. So gonna wind up skipping out on that treasure. Unfortunately, we are not able to find it, but at this point I'd still like to potentially find the horn. It might just be tough to do so. I might have to play a hornless game and just look for lightning dragons, look for additional copies of Empress P, which we can grab a tier 6 treasure from. That could be fun. We are going to get to grab a tier 6 treasure from Hercules, so that's pretty strong, and honestly, we are doing very well still this game. I'll pick up a Mimic Chest, and for me, that's reasonable enough to toss the Sky Castle. Mimic Chest Bounty Board is just going to give us so much gold that it's going to allow us to roll a whole bunch of times on our turns and find the Royals and Jormungand's and everything that we need, even without that Sky Castle. I think we're going to be able to get there. I sharded the Ice Queen, the Hercules, and that turns into a Boomhilda, which we can use to support some of these Empress Ps, and we'll even find a third Empress P. So we'll get to triple that up as well. And I could see taking Singing Sword and replacing the Bounty Board, but I just think it'd be so sweet to use this Bounty Board for one more turn, so we are going to stick with that for a second. Then we find a Jormungand on the last possible moment of the turn, and I'll lock on to a lucky coin for next turn. But we're going to have a ton of slays here. Mimic Chest actually does work with Evil Eye. It doesn't do anything with Horn, but it does something with Evil Eye. So that's going to give us a whole bunch of slays on this Empress P. Absolutely massive, and that's going to give us a ton of gold on the bounty board. Feasting Dragon also gets to get in there for a whole bunch of slays, and now our shops are going to be huge. We basically have a free embiggening stone. Bigger than that, everything in our shop has plus 17, pretty nice stuff, and we have infinite gold this turn. Now, I will say, I was not super worried about losing this one. I kind of played it a little bit silly. I didn't roll super aggressively on this final turn because I did not feel like we were in danger at all. And even if we lost a combat, we would not be able to lose the game. And so like part of me was like, if I lose a combat, then I'll have next turn to try to put some fancy stuff together. But looking to triple these lightning dragons and hopefully find a Horn of Olympus, replace the bounty board. Not going to be able to get there. I'll pick up some more lightning dragons regardless though, and then we are out of time. I would have loved to have found a Jormungand. I also find a Baba Yaga at the last possible second, but not a huge deal. Isn't really going to matter. We just have absolutely massive characters here with the Empress P. Baba Yaga upgraded should probably be in that first slot as well. We are denied a little bit of slays from that. but it doesn't matter because we were just absolutely massive. And honestly, a really crazy game. And I think that one of the things that is cool about this game and nice about this game, hold on, my mouse is disconnected. So I'm trying to get it on the screen here to pause this. Okay, perfect. Well, I guess it was going to pause anyways. It was the end of this compilation of videos. But yeah, Evil Eye doubled up. I think this is like an interesting game to look at too because we didn't have the horn. Though, like I said, I think that the horn is now going to be the easier piece of these two to grab, and then on that final turn, I probably would have just rolled for Baba Yagas and Nyan Sea Terrors, as well as Jormungand's, and tried to grab a tier 5 treasure in that way to potentially grab the horn. That was on the current patch. But a lot of the flexibility and strength that I had from this game was from that early Knighthood onto the Sleeping Princess, and I think that that's something really strong that I've probably showcased in like some tournament VODs or things like that. But I realized I had never done a dedicated Gwensday video just on the using the Knighthood on a Sleeping Princess. So I wanted to showcase that for you guys today. That is going to be it for me today. I do have one other video though, if you haven't checked that out. That is a video on Goldilocks. So go ahead and do so. But that is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.